everybody. This is an activity called Fill the Space with Sound, and we'll be using our voices to take up space as well as explore ways our voices can give space when that space is being shared. As the child does this activity, they'll have plenty of opportunities for self-expression. They will be listening and responding. They will have opportunities to connect imaginatively, some sounds and images, and they'll also be, of course, thinking about sharing space. You will need a few supplies for this, 4 or 5 different crayons or markers, as well as a few sheets of paper. Since this activity uses your voice, you will want to do a vocal warm-up. That could be something like singing one of your favorite songs or doing something fun and silly like tracing contours in the air and imagining what it would sound like if you were to sing them, singing them together like this. Once your voice is warmed up, you'll have a short conversation with your child to get their brains warmed up to thinking about taking space and giving space. You can ask questions like, what is one of your favorite spaces to be in? And how does it feel when you can take up all the space you need? What if you were in your favorite space with your friend? How could you give them the space that they need while taking up space for yourself too? This is the point where you're going to need your crayons or markers and your paper. We're going to start by just drawing a small circle. Now let's imagine how our voice can take up a small amount of space, just like this circle. You and your child can imagine any small sound you want, as long as there's room for it to get bigger and bigger during the activity. Today, I'm going to use a slidey sound for my circles, and I'll start with a small one. Woo! Whatever sound you decide on, try it out with your child. Now let's make a shape that takes up a little bit more space. Maybe these 2 circles could sound like this. Ooh! Woo! And now we're going to make one more shape that fills up almost the entire page. Together with your child, you're going to perform all 3 of your circles now. Your sound is going to take up more and more and more space. Ooh! Woo! Woo! Now you're going to bring in a new challenge to this performing. Instead of just taking up space with these big circles along with the child, you're going to do something different. And you can ask the child, if I wanted to use my voice in a different way that still gives you the space you need to take up and fill the room with these big circles, what could I do with my voice? You're going to imagine what these little sounds could be that give space by drawing them. What kind of shapes could fit in around these big circles? Let's try out some ideas. Maybe some little stars, or a long skinny line, or maybe some little squiggles. Brainstorm together with the child some sounds that these little symbols could represent. Maybe the stars are, or these squiggles could be, or this long line could be something like, ooh. After you've tried out some sounds that give space, choose one that you love, that's really fun to perform, and add it in to your drawing of the circles taking up space. Okay, so let's put in a few of those little squiggles around. They fit, and they still give space for those big circles. I'm going to try singing all of this together. Now that you have sounds that take up space as well as sounds that give them, it's time to perform it all together. Now there is no wrong way for this to go as long as you and the child are really thinking about taking up space and giving it. I'll show you one example of how I interpreted my score. Maybe it'll give you a place to jump off from to make your own unique performance. Ooh. Ooh. No matter what you do, I hope you enjoy filling your space with sound.